As they have done whenever this or related matters have been explored by the courts, Mayan villagers made the long trek to the city this morning. Attorney Amon Courtney is representing the claimants and opened up with arguments just after 11 this morning. A major premise of the case presented by the claimants is tied to the Supreme Court decision of 2007, which affirmed the Mayan rights to customary land. The argument is that government is allowing drilling on Mayan communal lands without the informed consent of the Mayans, and in fact, without any consultation at all.
One of the many grounds on which we have filed a claim has to do with the government granting a production sharing agreement and not adhering to the issues related to the Maya customary title of the communities, which relies on the other ground, the right of free prior informed consent that the Supreme Court established in 2007. We believe that it is fundamentally important to tie all of these rights affirmed by the court and international law that Belize has ratified to bring bearing on the government's issuance of development concession, and one of them being oil development under the production sharing agreement.
There is another critical argument. The land in question is part of a national park. So does that give government the right to say what happens inside it? Or will the rights affirmed by the Supreme Court in 2007 prevail?
We've been public about our position that we still consider the land inside the park as Maya traditional land. And obviously we are laying out the claim and the evidence that have already been determined by the court in 2007 to bring up to date the court on those evidence that have been determined, to ensure that there is no ventilation of those matters that have already been determined by the court. So we maintain that they are Maya customary land, and it's been vindicated by the court.
Whether it will be upheld by this court, only time will tell. Chuck seems to feel that the matter could have been settled differently if government had acted differently. He believes that it could have been possible for all parties to achieve their goals with respect from all sides.
I think there is always a win-win situation. That is what this struggle is about. I think that there is, in other circumstances, there would not have been a need to have to come to the court to get rights that are affirmed by the Constitution, to have the court vindicate those rights once more. I think that there is a win-win situation, and the government is really the balancing factor here that can really make the kind of win-win situation possible.
Meanwhile, SATIIM is still the proud owner of a persona non grata status, banned from entering the national park. Not that it has stopped them from doing just that.
The government has made a decision, and we have taken up a decision, and we are going by the decision we have taken. And obviously it is easy to revoke a concession. It's more difficult to put people on the ground to deter the illegal activities that happened in the park on a daily basis, that we have been able to deter as a result of our presence on the ground. So we are on the ground.
Mike Rodon for News 5.